Tú o me.
Yo, mi turno.
¿Seguro?
Sí, señora.
Rápido, por favor.
Sí, bien rápido. I'm gonna go fast. I'm watching the game with the kids, the basketball game. Okay. Uh, hello, everyone. I'm gonna give you a little summary for today. Everything was very, very green, very positive in the last couple of days. Not super strong according to these percentages points. Dow Jones close to 0.50%, S&P close to 0.20%, NASDAQ didn't even move that much. I would say about 0.05% closer. Or you can say 10%. Russell about 0.20%, and the VIX didn't move that much. So this caused why it wasn't moving. It has been going like -4, -3, or +4, +3. So, but overall, a very verde dia. It looks like for tomorrow, or as of right now, 9 o'clock, things are not looking that positive. Maybe a little pullback, oil closer to 1%, NASDAQ futures, closer to 0.30%, and equally about Dow Jones, S&P, closer to 0.15%. So yeah, it might be a red day, potentially tomorrow, a little pullback, because we've been going strong. Okay, okay. So obviously everything was mostly green. The winner of the day was Target. Target had earnings, and based on the earnings, they had no other choice but to move at an upward direction. Hold on a second. Let me actually change this. Target. Come on, Target. Oh my gosh. Technical difficulties. So basically, if you got it since yesterday in anticipation of earnings, and bought it here in anticipation of going up, you basically had a good run, close to 20%. And even if you got it in the pre-market this morning, you would have done very well. This is very exaggerated. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Netflix, but if you look at the daily chart, it's just really extra. It has been, it had to do something to kind of get out of the dump land that it was on, you know? And so it got basically to this level of support. And that's why it did a big jump like that. So if anybody was going short, they were killed. And earnings were good because it was close to about 50% up, from all this negative. And I was reading that it was, a lot of cost cutting, a lot of restructuring and management, and stuff with supply chain. So they got their little act together, and this, the market took it well, and of course, squoze the heck out of it. A coin has been having a really good trajectory so far, since this dip right here is going to get close to this 100 area, maybe even tomorrow. It's only like 11 cents away. Actually, it even got to it today, so I can even see getting it in this area, and even surpassing it for the Santa Claus rally. And again, um this was a beautiful trend up. If you got any dips on this, just wrote it, because this was probably these two were the chances to get it, basically. And yeah, Macy's 1265. It has earnings tomorrow, so hopefully it continues on this upward momentum, close to 8%. Very well. I still have some long ways to go. I put an order at about 13.50. So if it does a crazy spike, I can just get out and maybe buy it or whatever again. Pton, this has been killing me. I got it low and now it's high, which is the pop that Miss Green was anticipating. I think it will fill that gap. See, we had said, hey, just wait till I get here. And of course, we're stubborn and didn't. I just jumped on it because it was on a downward trend. But here's the opportunity for everybody. Hint, hint, nod, nod. Wait until it gets to this level around 7 or, filling this gap. Or you can ride it up. Open.
It
I
was
got
between 7 and 9.
Yeah, so put that on the notes. Keep a watchful eye on Piton because this is the time frame. People are going to be eating Thanksgiving food and they're going to say, "Oh, I'm fat now. I have a New Year's resolution." They might get this, one or two machines, make this pop up, but eventually it is going to go back to its self. So that's how it is, and this is the opportunity, people, that we have been waiting for. So you're first smart because I'm already in the gutter now. Now I have to wait instead of just KATing. Now I will have to wait and maybe average in until that Precio. We talked about open. I I had some of this. I didn't average at the top. I did average a little bit at the top, but I didn't wait here. I should have averaged in more and I would have made a little bit more money. So I almost got it at the top. Yeah, I may even if it pops up again tomorrow to this area, I would even average in. Well, hopefully we'll see what happens tomorrow, but even here, if it goes, let's say to, like I said here, I'll just get some more, but we'll see what happens.
Yellow
Beyond me,
wants to say hi.
hola.
I
Hey,
guess.
Nelly.
Oh God, she changed her mind and
Okay. Beyond Meaty, very similar play to Open. So again, folks, some people may be buying some fake meat for the holidays. Let it pop up. There's this little gap up here that it never got filled. I don't know if it'll get up there. Of course not, because of the bad earnings. Even here, you can see this thing is just cray losing money. But it could potentially get to this area with the Santa Claus rally, and that's where you want to bank your buck and get a few, like a lot of these shares, because it does some very downward swings when it does. So just be on the lookout. It is on hard buy, so it could be expensive or whatever, or not, but that's on you. Wait fee, I'm disappointed, but we'll keep it on. Intel, we've been watching this. It's on the notes. Again, somebody has been wanting for this to dip down. At this rate, I don't know. Like I said, maybe potentially 36, maybe 34, but yeah, just buy the dip because it's going. Vana kicked my butt. Let's see, Netflix. We'll take a look at that. It looks like it's going to get to that 500 area we had identified. It's slowly getting there. We had set 44, but
eventually Intel will get to a price where someone would have been like, "Man, is that my price that I used to have it at?"
it's gonna take a long time, that's for sure.
It will get there.
Yeah, like I said, I could buy it now. It still would be a better price. So yeah, I'll just buy a dip, and that's it. Um, yeah. So let's see if it gets to the 500 price that we've been really anticipating for a potential short in anticipation after the holidays. Rivian, this thing has been going kind of cray, but the trend itself, even though it's been having these crazy like gap ups or whatever, is still down. So if it gets up here for some reason, I think that's the area that you definitely want to short. But let's see if it keeps going. Neil and I like to short this for sure. It's one of my favorite ones to short. BJ's, let's see how it did. I think it had, oh no, that's in 2 days. Ignore that, Kaka. Lucid, very similar to Rivian, but worse. This is a scam, as somebody likes to say. It's just a downward. Nikete, close to 2%. Yeah, it's just been stepping up. Like I said, I think it's gonna get to this 124. I don't see why it wouldn't. At this rate, it's just been very bullish. And this one did like a little like upside down U. So, your best bet was to kind of either get it at the beginning of the day, get out, and then short it, which would have been really great because then it was kind of flattish. And I think most of the stocks did the same thing today. Dollar Tree, here's the oh, this one was kind of interesting. Interesting graph compared to the others. Basically, if you got it in the pre-market and sold it, it was sort of bouncing around here, very flattish. It didn't the the range was very weak, but I guess the way to go was actually down on this. But like we have been saying, um, it's been pushing itself up. It was a little pushed down, but it's still going. It's still going up. Walmart is on the notes, should be on the notes every day. So now it's at the ultimate high. It's very, very high up there. Very, very high, 52-week high. Somebody's going to get profit. So it could get to 180, who knows, maybe 175. But this has to be on the notes every day. At some point, we do have to take a test and just get it, because if not, we're going to be like, oh, we should have gotten it, so that this should be on the notes, note person. Home Depot has been doing well, had earnings, and it was better than anticipated, 6.42%. So, it did a big jump up. So, it could continue, but we shall see. It's still winter time. But people can get their Christmas stuff. I went to Home Depot today. There's a lot of Christmas stuff out there. People can go cray cray with that stuff. Americana, I traded this today. Made some crazy mistakes. I still got some at the end of the dia. I've been kind of I did the opposite of what I was supposed to do. So I'm not gonna talk about it. But basically I got back in it again. Gave it a second chance. Bank of America on a daily, very strong. It's gonna get to this 30. So, that's a level that we like to look at. It could be a potential buy if you missed it down here, like we have said. I don't even know why we didn't even get it down here. But we wanted to get this price. We didn't get it here at the 28. It could, with the interest rates and just the banks going, it still like the zone.
We
It
were
looks like
focused on EBC because we thought EBC was going down, and if we have to choose between the two,
good
I've
point.
always liked EBC better, and I think you went along with me liking it better too.
Yeah, yeah, it's still weaker than Bank of America. It got to 1068, but we still wanted that $10 price. Don't settle, guys. Don't settle. Get the price that you want. Um, we'll skip a lot of these. Let's look at the Softy man. So Softy also should be on the notice. Again, reason for this is at the 52-week high, very similar to Mr. Walmart. At some point, somebody's going to get profit. Okay. So we have to keep that in mind. For the end of the year, people are going to start getting profit, or after the Christmas. I don't see why it wouldn't get to this 380 or 375. Again, we may want to do the same thing as Walmart and just do a few test shares. It's kind of been testing it every day. There been red candles, but still inching upward every day, So that tells me at some point it's gonna have to break. So keep an eye on that on Mr. Softy. Here's the EBC, which we looked at. Let's see, McDonald's was negative a little bit, but like I had said, it's stepping up. So just buy the dip and it's gonna get back up here, 300. That's my theory, and I'm sticking with it, not investment advice. So this thing has been stepping down the mountains. It's going to get to this 100 level, which is a little of a floor. So, you could write it down. It has been very weako, and the curve itself is telling you that it's about to even go further down. And Caro, so it rejected the 200. I think it could be an opportunity dip, but this area is probably even better. Let's see what happens. And this area right here is where we like to short it at. But it could go further up because there has been more than 3 mountains. Um, CRM, let's look at Meta, Mint, Meta. So not at the ultimate 52-week high because obviously it was over here at 400-ish, at 395, 380. I think it's gonna get to 350. It did a little rejection point. There might be a little pullback, but I think that's where it's heading. It's picked up momentum. It has gone out of this zone that we had identified, which it liked to hover a lot in here. Just testing it out. Like, hey, I don't want to be too extra, but at the same time, I'm just waiting for my opportunity. So now, wait. It should be along the lines of the same thing. Softy, Walmart should be on watch for a potential short. Let's see how it looked on the minute. So yeah, if you got this too short, congratulations. It was very weako, very weako. So contradictory to the Mercado. Freshie Pat, thank you for going down. DraftKings, let's take a look at this. Big sky. Basically, if you got it at the open, waited for that dip, and got out here, this was probably a better shorting opportunities because from here, 1040 or so until 130, if you had a lot of shares on this and did a short, you did well, very well. And if you did a little pick me up for the end of the day, not bad either, not bad at all. But let's look at the daily, because it's still going up, up, even though it had a kind of a little maybe indecisive candle, but still very more up than down. So I think it's going to continue on that momentum. Like I said, maybe there will be a little pullback mañana because, things have been extra, but this is very, very strong. Amazon didn't do well today compared to the others, about a dollar, sorry, 1.50% down. So if you got it at the top and wrote it down, good for you. It's still kind of, even though it had this rejection candle or red candle today, it's still kind of looking strong. And Cyber Monday is going to come up, Black Friday deals. So you know how that goes. It's going to go get up here. It's going to get up there. It's Amazon, and they're not going to give up until December 25th, enticing folks to just get nonsense they don't really need. That's that. Let's look at the minute chart. So yeah, this was a beautiful short. Basically, if you we're looking at this in the pre-market and got it here, or even got it here, just, chilled out the rest of the day and ignored it and just shorted, and then like, oh, you open your eyes at the end of the day and you probably had a few pesos in your pocket. So congratulations to you, my friend. NVDA had a big pullback, was the second loser. I think because it had been having some very strong dias, and so it did a little pull me back, but it's still going up. So it's going to get to that 500, which it almost did today. So it played with you. You was going to get there, rejected 499.60. So it keeps rejecting that 500. We will see if it goes down a little bit and then does a breakout from this 500. So that's something to note because that will be also the 52-week high. It is above this 50 period. The 200 is very, very strong. Look at this. Ever since the beginning of last year, or, since actually, yeah, October, if you bought it here, man, some dinero, 100 to 500. That's $400 per share if you got it down here, baby. Hey, good for you. If you anticipated that. So it has to do a little bit of pullback, but we do have to keep an eye on it. There's probably going to be that momentum till get the most profit from this, especially if you're a fund manager that had a lot of shares down here, or people that bought it here. They're just waiting to see what's going to be the maximum price towards the end of the year to get that profit. And then AMD still going up strong. I think it's going to continue also maybe following along the line of NVIDIA. Look out for this 130. So, that's about, I would say, 12 and a half dollars per share up there. And that's basically it. I don't have a video. I was gonna put a video, but I kind of want to be fast though. Let me see if there's some news here that we can like look at real quick. US and China agreed to resume military talks. Takeaways from the Biden-Xi summit. Let's just look at the 5 points or 3 points. US President Joe Biden and Chinese President Xi Jinping have agreed to resume high-level military communication, according to both countries. US Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin will meet with his Chinese counterpart when that person is selected, a senior Biden administration official told reporters after the Biden-Xi summit. China has yet to name a defense minister after dismissing Li Shangfu from the position without explanation in late October. So here's a little picture, and that's it for my wrap up, and that's all I got. Any comments, questions, or observations?
Thank
Oh,
you.
you're welcome, ma'am. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and Senna, and say hi to someone.
Did you have something to say?
Just have a great night and enjoy
Okay.
the rest of your evening.
No,
That's
I was
all.
just gonna say thank you and thanks for being quick and have a good night.
Yes, ma'am.
Peace.
Boop, boop, boop. We'll talk tomorrow, of course.